Yeah, well, because I was spouting off all the time about it. Not the sweatshirt. But
It's another episode of Poker Time. We're glad to have you here with us. They're playing 5, 10, and mostly 20, though not right now.
So you brought it up just to disappoint?
Well, I'm just letting people know they can set their expectations that there's probably going to be bigger pots than just a 5-10 game. It's generally 5-10, 20.
Well, Wheel doesn't care that it's not 5, 10, 20. He's going to make it 60 anyway.
Yep. It's like he straddled the button, sort of, in a manner of speaking.
Not exactly, but here we are. He's got the terrible flop, but it's going to work out.
Yep. Premier's got some... Looks like he could use some masseuse help.
Or maybe his neck itches. Maybe he could use some lotion or perhaps a sort of like a scratching thing that scratches.
Oh, one of those neck scratchers?
Yeah, one of them scratchers.
Yeah.
Sounds delicious. Sounds melty by
I
the time
want
it
a
gets
dilly
here.
bar.
I know. By the time
Dan
I
Ross.
get here,
Yucking it up despite funding the game.
Yeah, Dan Ross is the big loser so far in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Korean Mike on the button, the big winner, as you can see. He's got all that money in front of
Brewery's
him.
barbecue parfaits.
Barbecue parfait.
Also, he's tall,
Yeah.
so big winner in that way.
I know. We've been talking about him the whole time.
Wow, barbecue.
They're $10 each.
You see, what happens when he comes to Meadows is he spends
Ken's going to play the Danny, although Danny prefers it unsuited, of course.
so occupied with that bikini.
Ken usually doesn't play hands like this for raises. It's nice to see him breaking out a little bit.
Yeah, go Ken go. Although he's dominated.
You know, I thought it was a regular coffee.
there's only
thing,
1
so
6
I
left
saw the
anyway.
gal Go out and dump her grounds. She had coffee grounds.
Mike is folded. Says he called.
She went
Okay,
out
that's
and
a
dumped
lie.
them behind the building.
Yeah,
What the heck?
yeah.
Ken just going to give up with 6 high on the flop, and I think Danny is
See,
going
if
to
you
take a
ask
shot
Mike,
and
he
just
knows
win.
exactly
He does have 2 back
at
doors.
what time.
When she
Ken
dumps
with
her grounds.
one back door.
Ken is not folded right away,
Running out of
but
the poker room and we're like,
Just
"Mike,
trying to
where
see
you
if there's
going?"
any way to
yeah.
On the grounds.
make a play.
What?
There's always a way to make a play against Danny. It might not work, but he has air a fair amount, so
That's
you
true.
could make a play.
The
Yep.
bikini dumping grounds.
Weird stuff. Can I straddle a quarter?
That coffee booth piece of shit.
Can you straddle a quarter? Does it go to 20?
Frankly, straddle a quarter instead of 20.
Big decision. 20 fine.
Cremio not satisfied with straddling
Need some
for 2 blinds. He has to straddle for 2.5
Need that. I
blinds.
just
What's the
need that.
question, Jonathan?
Seems fine to me, but they're not going to let him do it.
I'm gonna keep this.
Software issue, perhaps.
Straddle.
Because I need them.
No, they can have the straddle be whatever they want, I think.
Actually, it looks like he
Like they
did.
can.
He did
Oh.
straddle a
One
quarter.
thing to do.
It's 25?
It's only an extra half a.
I don't see why not.
parfait.
Dan Ross with the ace king. Certainly happy that there's a little extra dash in the basket.
That's how you
How many
monetize.
Dash?
That's how you
Sure.
monetize.
What the hell is that?
It's like a Greek thing or something.
Okay.
Like a Greek term for money,
that's what we
maybe.
do in
I can't
I'll tell you
deny
who
that
doesn't
because I don't
make
know,
parfait.
but it seems like you made that up.
Buffet or parfait?
Parfait.
I'm sure there's a
I'll
good
tell you
story
who doesn't make
behind
the
it.
barbecue parfait.
Cremio calls.
It does not. So you
K6, not in good shape.
Dan Ross has everybody dominated. There's 375 in there. But things have not gone his way. Let's see if he can start to turn it around here. Not yet.
He's still ahead.
He's
So-
going to bet. So this probably
This
gonna
is
get
a
through.
version of turning it around, right?
Yeah. Assuming he gets it through.
Why do you still have your phone?
Oh yeah, I wasn't supposed to have my phone. Could I just show him a
What
picture of my
fuck,
sea
Jay?
bass?
You gotta forfeit your stack to the rest of the table.
Good.
Yeah, he does get it through.
Why?
Those are rules.
Pretty good board to bluff at.
So,
If you get
so
caught-
that sea bass, that's a
Didn't even
regular
keep your
size.
stomach out.
You guys are just
Don't
gonna
you-
have to
It
delete
wasn't.
this entire
This
episode.
This was
It's
30,
throw-
25 feet deep.
Oh.
You guys are gonna have to delete this entire episode.
Last time I left my phone, I
Okay,
had
who
to
else?
drive to
Bryce?
Brian's to get it.
You got a phone?
Talking about
Mine's right there on the table.
I don't even know how
Wow.
to. What?
talking
Nice.
about dumping grounds.
I don't even know how to
I
cheat.
keep mine in a crutch.
and deep throating.
So how do I cheat? How do I cheat with my cell phone? I don't even know how.
That's
First
what
you-
I don't know if Wheel was around for the Mike Postle thing. I know he existed at that time.
That's what cheat would say. No.
Well,
It would be kind of crazy if we had a controversy at the Portland
35, I was
Meadows.
thinking-
You
To be
guys
clear,
have a lot of-
I do not think
a lot of
Wheel is
watches.
trying to cheat in
More
any
than
way.
No, of course not.
500.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
Call
I'm
Mr.
gonna try and
Joey
call down
Ingram
to
and
6
ask
items.
him.
That feels like
Huh?
a nigh impossibility.
Get some views.
Not just an impossibility.
Would,
but
would a cheater show up
Do
and
you
have
get Joey
sea
Ingram like
bass,
live
black bass?
casting from the parking lot for 82 hours and shit?
Right?
9-7 with
He's
the
like,
open
I'm in
ender.
Portland, it's crazy.
Pretty good. No one else with anything.
What the fuck is going on? He's interviewing people.
And
on
it's
the
Mike
street.
Day, so it's gonna work out.
Joey Ingram.
It really has been
Oh,
Mike
no,
Day.
yeah.
There's a black one there.
That'd be funny.
That would be funny.
Get his ass down here then.
And somehow it doesn't
Doing
work
business
yet.
partners and shit that don't know anything about it. He's like,
It's not
That's a
Caremio who
heart.
called. It's Ken who called, not Caremio.
It's a pretty good turn card for Mike. I expect to see him continue to barrel.
I know.
Ken in the big blind does have trip sixes sometimes, but as you see,
Still need that double up wheel.
not this time.
I'm straddling. If Kareem can straddle for a quarter, I'm straddling.
Button straddle for a quarter.
Perfect. I'm gonna straddle for 200.
why don't you do it for
You're gonna have
30?
to get a ruling from Wizard of Oz back
I
there.
mean,
What's
they
the
said,
max
we,
straddle?
they said we can
Just
straddle
get it
for more
over
than 20.
I'm gonna get a hand.
I agree. It will get crazy.
You mean Kareem got to do 25?
The one time. Yep.
Can we do it 25? Just make it
We
25.
snip that shit in the bud right now.
So they're not going to let them straddle the 25 anymore.
Kareem
Wow,
cheating.
what a thrill for Caremio to get to be the only
I'm making it
one.
wrong. It's 25, so we can do one chip straddles. 25 is a straddle.
If you're straddling the button, it's 25. Straddle up front
Oh.
is 20.
Oh,
I mean, the
And
straddle-
our dealer Josh just made an executive decision there. Made it, said it's possible, and his word is basically law. So
but that
that's
means that all straddles now are 25. Is that
I
correct?
think he said if you straddle from the button, it's 25.
Okay.
You know, that sounds fine to me.
Yeah.
By the,
So now we're playing 5, 10, 25.
that's the one by the
I kind of like that as an overall rule that the button straddle has to be bigger than the under the gun straddle because
Yeah.
it's more of an advantageous move.
Yep,
dry fold.
I agree.
We're all gonna figure out our race size now.
Oh boy, here we go.
Different. 5 minutes.
All right, how much is Dan going to lose this time?
Oh, it looks like 350 is going in.
Bye-bye 350.
Oh, it's only
Oh,
275.
Bye-bye 275 because I don't see Mike. I was thinking the hands were reversed. Never mind. I thought Mike had the ace king and was going to 4-bet.
No, he's not. I don't think he's 4-betting.
That would be strange. So no, Dan actually might win. He
This
might
is a
actually
hard-
win.
This is a hard hand to play out of position.
Yep.
So he really might lose this hand, and
Bridge and then 80.
that would be the reason to even consider 4-betting it. Well,
There's the king high flop, and maybe it's Dan day now. Maybe it's turned around.
I've never tried to get on that.
This is
see.
a major down bet board.
And then I
125 is fine even. It's pretty small, but you could go that small.
and in fact, it's 150. Ross, the undercover boss, agrees with you,
Oh, it's St. John's back.
more or less.
And Mike has to consider it for that price.
I would think Mike is going to call for this 150 here.
The future threat really sucks, but Dan is a guy that you're going to play against enough, and he's going to bet enough that you have to use distribution in your calling decisions. And this is pretty low, but it might be high enough to make the call on the flop.
Mike decides not to. Mike is right this time,
Can't do any wrong.
I go up
Thank you, Mike.
northeast.
but Dan certainly could have ace queen, and everything would be the same.
Or even worse hands. you
Yep.
know, Queen Jack type hands.
Yeah. Here's the cumulative winnings. We see Korean Mike crushing Dan Ross, the crushed.
Yep. We see the devastation being laid out by Mike.
Danny not doing great. Caremio not exactly living it up either, but Dan Ross. Maybe he's going to need to go find someone else to be his boss so he can get a paycheck.
They put
Maybe.
Going so bad.
green, so
You can't say that about a poker player, man.
No.
You can't say that.
You know,
either way.
in the episode last week, they named it, is this the biggest punt in poker time history, which I think was
Wow.
a reference specifically to Dan Ross's ace queen hand.
Nice.
So,
Nice for
that was
him.
pretty harsh for the interns, but you know, I understand they're going for clicks.
He's like, no, wait.
This is
Just
the
all
firmest
clickbait.
stance
It's
I've ever
really,
seen Josh
really
take.
nice of them.
The only acceptable add to sweet potatoes is
I mean, it is a fair question to ask. It's an interesting
The
question.
answer is no.
No, the answer is certainly no, but they're allowed to ask it.
That's true.
You know, they did come and sort of check in and say, like, can we just go for it with the title? I'm like, well, be respectful, but sure, write whatever you want.
Did they put like a poop emoji over Dan Ross's face?
They did not, which was part of the respectful thing.
Yeah, because they really wanted to, I bet.
You know those interns, they
Yeah.
are crazy. So Danny, oh, there you go, $25 on the button.
Turkey?
What bird is better than turkey?
You know who's not sad about the straddle amount being raised is Danny.
That's true.
What bird is better than turkey?
What side dish is better than
There's
stuffed?
not
Green.
many birds.
Anything.
Well, it's on wheel here, even though Kareem already folded, and so did other people.
People love their Thanksgiving. I
Everybody
don't get it, man.
It all works out in the
All
end.
that shit is fucking
You
incredible.
know what's great about Thanksgiving?
We got him.
Easy
You can have a
peasy.
turkey in your freezer too for only.
Danny got him.
That time it was easy peasy lemon squeezy for Danny.
Thank you for saying that.
Sometimes it's the opposite.
Well, if you buy enough shit at
Easy
Fred Meyer's,
peasy
you will
lime
get a free
squeezy.
No, it's difficult, lemon difficult.
You can. Oh,
What's that from? I feel like that. Did we do that in the past?
No, that's from the movie In the Loop.
Ah,
smoked turkey, but also
Okay.
Good job, though, picking up that
spatchcock
that's a
it, like
reference
cutting
of
the
to
back one
something.
out and laying it flat makes it cook more
I'm so glad you
evenly.
asked me what the opposite actually was.
Dry before
That was
the darkness
wonderful.
gets cooked,
Yep.
and it's really good.
And make sure it's in the
Spatchcocking?
Spatchcocking, yeah.
Mike's got so many chips, he's knocking them
How
over.
do you spatchcock it?
it's a nice place to be.
It's such a good way to go. Like it's
You've been there, right? Where you're like, sure, I have more chips than I'm used to having. How do I stack these? And you end up
Absolutely.
knocking them over a little bit.
Yep, or I usually just don't go high, I go wide.
I
I just like build
But then
it
you
out.
have like nowhere to go.
Yeah,
and
it's kind of fun.
You have your arms are all.
Yep, it gets weird with the
Never
arms.
heard of spatchcocking.
I tend to go high, and then it's a problem.
Yeah,
Then you cover and roast it that way.
so Dan and K6 completed. Wait a second.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
not what
Can you
happened.
smoke it?
Yeah, they
Yeah, they both
limped.
limped.
They limped.
They both
yeah.
limped.
They didn't complete. They limped. And then Danny raised with some hand of some sort.
6-4 probably, although it's blocked.
Harder. Pretty tough. Maybe it's 5-3.
No, it's not one of his.
Oh, 4 deuce. It could be 4 deuce.
It could be 4 deuce.
He's a big 4
It
deuce
can't
player.
be good. We know that.
I mean,
It's
I assume
impossible.
I think it's more likely to be 4 deuce than a good hand.
Smoking it.
I'm gonna give him Jack 8 of clubs.
Yeah,
That's my
it's
best.
Way
guess.
too nice.
Oh, he's
Oh,
got
4
top pair.
4 deuce gets there. Has a pair now.
I think it's Jack 8 of clubs.
It's K6. Oh, it looked like K6 was leading. And will Danny
You're not doing
bet?
it on top of
He's
it.
gonna get called by K6.
Yes. There's the bet. Not small. 230.
But it's not. It doesn't have like a big cavity.
K6 does have Dan Ross behind him.
Is there any merit in shoving against a player like Danny with a very vulnerable hand here and this stack is K6?
I think Danny's the right guy to do it against. Danny will call you with the worst hand. A lot of players would.
And it
Danny will
wouldn't-
absolutely call you with a 5.
And it wouldn't suck to fold out King Queen.
Right. I think a shove is probably the right play. Sometimes you get snapped by a better hand, but so be it. I think Danny absolutely is calling with a 5.
No, what do you call when you have a leg
lot.
lamb and you?
And he can have a 5 even though he's the razor.
Yep.
There's a word.
I mean, he's calling with every better hand, I think.
Yes, that's
Which
the problem.
does suck, and not that many worse hands, but we do knock out the equity, and we make it very hard for Dan Ross to call with his 1 pair hands, too.
It's just so hard to be able to call the turn on almost any card if Danny bets big.
Yep, and we're just not that deep. And there's already 515 in there. I think you just got to shove it.
It's not a great spot.
It's tough. It's tough.
K6 lets it go.
And we'll just see.
Well,
Dan
no.
just pushes it. Okay, he didn't have 4 deuce because he always shows the 4 deuce.
He might have had it.
Maybe.
He might have had not.
Also could have had king queen.
Yep.
And you kind of cut it and say spread out. It's
Yeah.
called moose cocking.
No, come on. What's it called?
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't.
Really? It's called. Damn it.
Mike is going to take his turn to
Butterfly,
do
thank
the
you.
beefy straddle on the button of
Tell
25.
me that. Yeah, but you
It's
know
called
when
dumping the ground.
It's like butterflying. Dumping the ground.
Mike looks like a
creating all
floor
the jargon.
supervisor right now.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his general vibe.
Yep.
It's exactly.
Agreed.
the word I was looking
I wonder how he'd feel about that. But it doesn't matter how he feels.
Well, no,
We're
it's
just
I
calling
think-
it like we see it.
I'll say it in a complimentary way.
Oh, great.
I think it is kind of like a quiet authority, you know, like
Oh,
a
yeah.
friendly authority
I
type
think that's
thing.
right. I think that's right.
Like you should listen to what this guy has to say, but he's going to be nice about it.
He does have a little bit of a scowl when he's actually playing.
Yeah, but that's like when
That's different.
when the drunk guy's getting out of line, you know, if you're the floor supervisor.
Yeah, there it is. There's that slight scowl. Baring his teeth just a little bit.
Straddling. You know, it'd be, it's so cool to get a hand. I hope my last hand isn't the hand I played.
Quiet authority. I like that. I don't believe I convey quiet authority.
Nothing about you is quiet.
Or authoritative.
Well, no, not really.
Authoritative.
Authoritative.
Authoritarian.
Yeah.
And yet I've written things, so sort of an author.
I don't think you're a very good author if you don't understand the.
We wrote a book together, so you better change
Well,
that.
maybe one of us pulled a little more weight than the other.
Yeah.
Maybe one of us
The
did.
best place
Maybe.
to work out all that.
Somebody wrote the combinatoric section.
Doesn't matter.
I love jerk season. Jerk
I'm
season
not
is
good enough, and no one likes me.
Not good enough. No one likes me.
No one likes me. I'm a terrible
And I
person.
learned,
horrible poker.
That'd be a check.
And
It's a button check.
Oh,
my kids probably hate me.
Straddle is on.
Even though the interns don't know it.
55.
The interns are
Mike
often clueless.
Mike folds.
But Wheel is not
I
clueless
technically already
currently.
He doesn't know how to cheat with a phone.
That's true.
How can I fold?
That's true.
Spot committed.
You can't.
How can I
He
fold?
just announced
good
it,
news
spot
is-
committed.
People have hands. There we go.
It's an ace and an 8 he's got. And it looks like 3 spades on the board, so that's pretty good.
3 black cards at least. I know that.
And Will wins another one.
Anyway.
What is this, live at the bike? Get it right.
Can you have Dan buy the button or no?
Wow, you're being so intense. By the way, 2 clubs and 1 spade.
So, wrong. But, you know, still.
What do you mean?
I was wrong
Yeah.
about the bring 3 spades.
But
And
still.
I'm man enough to admit it.
When my wife and I went to Jamaica, we went,
Mm.
brought back a lot of the seasoning.
All right, interns, we're going to the next hand.
They did.
Get your
Leave 'em
shit
alone. Leave 'em
together.
alone. They're
It's really hard to
they're
find
hard working
numbers
and they're not getting paid anything.
jerk chicken
I mean, they get paid, but in cookies and bad cookies, cheap cookies.
Yeah,
Although even cheap cookies are often
they're pretty good.
pretty good. It's like pizza. How bad can it really be? All right, K6.
World market.
Gonna make the call on a relatively short stack.
He's got the queen 10 of diamond. You can
It's
call
a really good hand to call
You can
with there.
definitely call with that hand.
Absolutely.
with this deck.
For sure.
From Jamaica, but it's not home.
Oh, my sword for a 10-10-4 board.
Your sword?
Yeah, sure, why not?
What?
Gutter for Cremio.
25.
Second nut flush draw here, and
Looks like a raise right away.
Cremio only bets 25, and
He's going to peel a turn card. He
Wow.
didn't really have to, I think.
I agree. He is drawing to the nuts at least. And now K6 picks up some more outs. He checks it back. Uh-oh.
He
This could
actually
end up
does
very
not
bad.
pick up any outs. He loses on an 8.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is going to
no.
hurt a lot.
Oh, no.
Ooh. This
Oh,
is
no.
going to hurt a lot.
Oh, my. If he had bet the turn, this probably wouldn't have happened.
Is it possible that K6 can find a way to not raise?
All in.
Nope.
Nope. He's all in.
Well, Creamer's got the nuts. Let's wait for the devastation. That sucks.
He's got me covered. That's it for me, Blue.
That is just really rough.
That's super rough.
Okay. See if I-
Could have bet the turn when he picked up equity, but I guess he thinks he's just never getting Cremio to fold. Cremio looks like he has an ace a lot.
Yeah.
Let's see how it
Thank you.
happens.
I know that was a
Unless you have to be close.
I know that. Good luck
It's
with
just
all
one of those days, you know.
Yep.
For being gone, but does it mess you up or something?
Sometimes you string a bunch of those days together. You know what they call that?
Not me.
Losing money at poker.
They call it a week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan Ross putting on some pretty sick shades.
Oh man,
Oh, man, I wish I could have those shades.
he looks like he's
Can we just
Cool as hell.
You can just splash the pot.
he's gonna
$100 you can come
gnar some frickin' foam. You
He's
know.
going to shred some gnar.
Splash pot.
Don't take him off.
$15.
What are you doing?
Can't see. Leave him
Not
alone.
even in
I don't
play.
care.
Wait, but that's not fair.
That's clear.
What do you mean it's not fair?
If you learn to care
I'm
about
confused.
things.
Wait, what's the 15 for?
Josh, that's you.
It's a dead 15.
What? I don't understand.
Oh, it's like a.
I still don't understand what barbecue parfait is either.
Oh my God.
Mac and
It's
cheese,
it's yogurt.
crispy onion straws on top,
Yeah,
and
it's a,
then brisket on top of that.
it's a diet.
Did Mike just fold ace-3 of diamonds under the gun?
Cremio folded 4-3 of clubs. Both those things are surprising.
15.
He's like, you think
Is
I'm
it
gonna
possible
lose
that Mike's
50?
locking it up?
No, I'm not relinquishing that.
It's
I
possible.
don't know how much sugar they put in their mac and cheese. 280.
Raised to 280.
Looks like Danny's not having this Dan Ross BS.
There's the old 8-6 off play, and Wheel now has a spot.
You could just fold if you don't want to have. If you
Absolutely.
don't want to deal with the spot, there's no shame.
Dan Ross could sometimes be 4-betting also.
Danny could have 4 deuce and
Yep.
5 bet you if you 4-bet.
Yes, he could.
You could also have a better hand than you, of course.
Danny's sitting there like, oh, man.
Always trying to say he has aces. That's what Wheel does when Wheel has aces. He puts his hood on because that's a
Oh, yeah, that is what Danny's doing.
It's really trying
That's
to.
pretty clever. No, he's laughing. That's pretty clever.
Fold.
And that works.
Yeah.
Fold.
So I knew it'd work. I have 8-4. I have nothing. Like, yeah. I just figured the hood.
He
might work.
undersold his hand.
Yeah. Look at Wheel's face. Wheel looks very,
Oh, he does,
very
doesn't he?
sad.
He's got his
Oh shit. Had to use the wheel.
That was a nice little subtle move there by Danny. I like that.
Yeah.
Button straddle. Fold. Fold. Call. Fold. Fold.
I,
Option.
I know you wanted to make it 100. I'll just make it 100 and
Raise
then
to
try
100. Call.
We don't know what Cremio has.
I was calling either way, so.
Danny flops top pair, probably good.
Call.
Although Cremio is now betting into him.
You
So
said call.
I said 100.
That's technically a check, right?
Call.
no going anywhere for Danny.
Well, very much no going anywhere for Danny.
I wonder if Gremio has what it looks like he has, like Queen
Clubs?
Jack or King
Oh.
Queen.
Ace.
If he's Queen Jack, he's probably call. Oh, he did call.
Check.
Queen Jack's gonna be in a very tough spot here.
20.
Backdoor diamonds came
Oh,
in. Did Danny,
Danny
just
bet
bet
nothing.
$15? $20?
That's the easiest call in the world with the Queen.
Trip aces.
And he probably could have eked a little more value out of that one.
Not hand.
Thank you.
I guess the diamonds
I didn't think I
maybe
could.
bothered him a little bit. We're afraid he's going to kill his action a little bit.
Could he have eked more fun, though? It's more fun to bet 20.
Well, if you're going to do that, why not bet 5?
That's a good point.
I mean, I might have left like
That's a good point.
If 20 is fun, 5 is a riot.
Is a riot fun? Is
A
that what you
laugh
think?
riot. A laugh riot
You
is fun.
anarchist.
Would you have called 40? Kareem, just say, would you have called 40?
One more parfait.
Yeah,
One
I
more
bet 2
parfait.
parfaits. And I
Gotcha.
figured I could probably get away with it.
It's just like a bad turkey.
Well, that was like 1.5
Fold.
turkeys.
Raise to 30.
Ken with everybody's third favorite hand in poker.
Oh, we can't look at Dan.
Fold. 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 Call.
You know, defending with the
Thing
better
about
8.
poker is, like, you lose a huge pot, and then the guy who just beat you out of a huge pot is like, would you have called more?
Good flop for Ken.
Just
Oh.
take your chips.
Check.
Who does
Well, I was speaking on
A lot of
Danny's.
people do
I was,
Yeah,
I
would
was
you have
speaking on
called
Danny's.
more? What did you have there?
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Yeah. What did
I
you
wasn't
have?
even in
What
the
did you
hand.
have?
Maybe
Queen
could
to
have.
40.
I assumed he was going to fold right away, but does he have designs on this pot?
That would be odd with this hand on this board.
Yep. He does have some designs on this pot.
Call.
He check calls. My.
Right? Sometimes I'm wrong.
This is an
Well, that's a good card if Cremio wants to rep it.
Yep, you could lead right now. He checks. I guess he's just going to fold if Ken bets and probably bluff a lot of rivers. Well,
I would have taken.
bluffing would work. But he doesn't bluff.
He just thinks King High is good, and he's right.
How could he know that? It's so strange.
Is Ken going to take a stab?
No.
Yes,
Oh,
he
Ken
is.
does take a stab.
Threatening me? I don't like it.
110. It's a decent-sized bet, and
Yeah.
Cremio does not call him down with what would have been just an absurd hero call.
Yeah. Weird that he check called the flop though, and then
Yeah.
just never took a shot. Like could have led the turn, could have led the river. Just check folded instead.
Scotty. The guy who came up earlier.
Very strange.
Who was like,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
squeeze
yeah.
in one more person.
Maybe that 10 pairing like threw him off where he thinks Ken's going to check back over pairs, but he can't get him to fold. You know,
Maybe.
stuff like that.
Oh. If he doesn't want to, Dat is down there too.
Oh, dude, get that.
David.
Get that before Scotty.
David, if you want to 1100.
There were a bunch of cards on the turn that were going to give him some kind of a straight draw,
We would then.
I guess.
I've never made a hero call in my life.
Straddle on the button. Dan Ross definitely did not
No
fold king, queen
chance
of
he
spades.
folded that
Yeah.
hand.
That is so pretty.
Unfoldable.
I'm going to try it this time.
Call.
There's
It's
my
got
one.
Danny dominated.
Call.
Call.
Play a big one.
Oh.
Dan Ross is wearing the glasses now, fully.
Good.
King 6 something. Nope.
Nope. There's a queen, so Dan Ross feels pretty good about that.
This is a pretty good flop.
150.
Danny can't be thinking about calling
With
this.
wheel behind him? He has the king of hearts, but come on. That's crazy, Danny.
2 back doors.
I guess he could raise.
Fold.
No, he's letting it go.
He's sad about it.
Yep. And we'll once again in one of these positions with we see a player, the small pair on a, I mean, you're good a lot.
But you're going to have to face future aggression. This is different than K6's spot because there's no reason to raise his wheel.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't referring to K6. I was referring to Mike, Korean Mike with his 2
I
7s
see.
against Dan. Is that a call or a raise?
That is a raise.
200. That's not halfway to a raise. It's just going to be a call.
Oh. Maybe he meant to raise, or maybe he meant to call and he just got it wrong. I
think
don't
he
know.
meant to call.
Calling
Those are
makes
all
sense.
They're $25 chips.
Looks like a 6, but it is not.
Let's see what Dan does here. Mostly you are good. You usually have the best hand
Better be
here.
big.
And there are more worse queens than better queens.
And there's hearts out there to charge. Yep.
Queen 9 does come in, but there aren't too many of those.
I'd expect a bet.
There's one combo of Queen 9 suited left.
400.
There's the bet. 400.
That's not
Dan is
big.
saying, I do believe I have the best hand, sir.
It's 100
How can
for
wheel
every-
call again?
Can't see it happening.
40 parfaits.
There's the... Drops his head in defeat.
He is talking inches around.
Yeah.
It's like a bicep.
So,
We're really going through a whole
I
emotional
think I gotcha.
roller coaster over there.
Oh, I guess I'll have to see it on TV.
Good luck,
Unless you
Owen.
show one.
Fuck, you should have shoved there for sure.
Stuck.
He really didn't want to believe Dan.
Oh, yeah. It's the only way you could win was to bet that.
You instigated that. Yes. That's the only way you can win. Yeah, why?
I wonder if 2 6s play better almost as a click back raise on the flop.
Well, usually he doesn't listen to
Just
me.
to clean up some equity and not get bluffed on the turn.
Yep.
Maybe.
Put in a little more money in,
Yeah.
but then you don't have to like fold every time you don't
Maybe.
on every turn card.
Yeah.
I had a huge pocket pair.
Button Charlotte's hand.
Phil Hellmuth would do it.
What?
Sure.
Yeah.
Fives?
Oh, I'm sorry. Shoot, I didn't know he straddled.
Cremio straddling the button once again.
Out of pressure.
Ken and Danny with the same hand.
Well, they're different suits, actually, Grant.
I didn't know that was a thing in poker.
Yep. I know they're both red, but they are different suits. Only one of them can make
But then you'd be in there
heart
and
flush
have
or a
to
diamond
pick
flush.
like-
No, I'll bet you 100. I'll bet you 100.
By the way, another 7, another suited 7 is in there.
And we
This
can
is
walk
crazy.
I'll bet.
Well, actually,
Mike-
Kareem Mike folds the ace set. Wow,
I think he's locking it up.
Sure.
He's locking it up.
How do you fold that hand?
When you're deep, you can't
That
fold
doesn't
it.
make
You
any
can't fold a suited
sense.
ace when you're deep. He did it twice now.
Korean Mike, just get up and go home then.
Yeah, he's
What's
locking it up.
happening?
He made the greatest call in poker time history, but he
He
is
did.
now locking it up.
Yep. He's like, I want easy decisions from here on out. Wow, that is a really surprising
10
fold.
golden shell.
And he would have flopped best
You have to
by a
keep
lot.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's less than $100. I'll take the $100.
Right now, he's realizing that as it checks around.
Take the golden shell.
Yes.
Oh, that's
And yep,
without
he'd have
drawing
everybody
out.
drawing dead on the turn. That's not, of course, really the point, though.
No. Gremio not taking a stab. A little surprising.
Yep. Well, if they check again, he can definitely rep a 3 if he wants to bet.
He can. I don't know if Danny's going to fold king high last to act there if Gremio takes a stab.
Well, let's
I
find
guess
out.
We will find out. Unless Ken calls, then we won't find out.
How can Ken call with Danny behind him?
Because Ken is the destroyer of worlds.
He is. He makes people's dreams cry.
The dreams themselves.
Yeah. Ken is thinking about it, but lets it go. And Danny
And Danny
does call.
snaps it with the king.
Do not mess
It's a chop.
with Rip City
Board.
Danny.
Chop board.
He knows. He knows.
It's just a chop. It's not king
Danny
high.
calls 100 to win 45, but it works like a charm.
Yeah.
Knowing what was going on.
Thank you.
It feels like that king plays, doesn't it? Just
It really
feels like
does. It really does.
Button straddle.
Oh, drink.
I wonder if Danny felt it, because I was thinking the king played for sure.
Yeah.
I was like, this is what a call.
No.
Nope.
Not a
And
one.
then my voice was going to get all gravelly.
At least there's no rake here at Portland Meadows,
It's true.
so it doesn't hurt anybody.
Cigars, right?
That is the worst when people bet the river and then there's Broadway on the
Yeah.
board and they bet a lot and they're going to take another $20 or $10 out of the pot or whatever because of the rake or whatever. And the other person's always calling. That is maybe the stone worst
Oh, yeah, button straddle by Dan.
thing that happens in the life of a poker player.
What about losing all of your money and going bankrupt?
Yeah, that's part of the thrill.
75.
That's true. It's part of the whole deal.
If you don't ever lose all your money and go bankrupt, you don't really feel anything as a
Right,
poker player. It's hard to
right.
feel alive.
You have to see all those zeros.
Exactly, with nothing in front of them.
Like they aren't big enough to harvest.
Dan Ross with the mystery hand.
Like October
Frozen
through
turkeys are good.
That's going to do it.
for sure.
So you can eat a turkey at a time.
There's this marinade that I use.
Because they just showed up maybe like a month
We're
ago
back,
or
and we're looking at Mike's cumulative winnings, which are going to stay about the same
Most
for the rest of
likely.
the session, is my
Most
guess,
likely.
based on how he's been playing for the past half hour.
You know, maybe he'll pick up another cooler spot or something, but it doesn't seem like he's trying very hard. So it's, you throw away the A7 of
I
clubs,
feel like this is a
The ace three of diamonds.
yeah, and the Ace3 of diamonds. I mean, maybe
I feel
he'd
like
rather
this is
have
100 short.
hands that flop a little bit more straightforward, like pocket pairs.
You can make the nut flush with those hands.
I know, but you usually have to put a lot of money in to do it,
Yeah.
as opposed to like you have 2 sevens, you set it or forget it, and
Don't want to take
you don't worry as much. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, 'cause of the
He's looking for some big pocket pairs to rock and roll with against these chumps.
The chumps.
That's what he said to me before
Yeah.
we started filming.
Wow.
Wow.
He wants to
This
rock
guy-
and roll with big
this
pocket
guy-
pairs against all the
I think
chumps.
I'm scoring like 1,000.
normal.
Yeah.
Is that how we play this
Okay, I
game?
give you a pretty good start.
I take
tonight,
back
so-
80% of what I've said about you. See that?
Fold.
Is Dan Ross the one we called the molecule?
I think it is.
Okay, good. And
Danny's
Danny
got
is
the hooks. The fish hooks.
Yeah. Danny's the dynamic.
Yep.
Dan Ross is the molecule. That is amazing. Corey Mike's going to fold whatever he has. There it is.
Wheel is the anomaly.
Ooh. I like that. Premio is the peripheral.
Peripheral.
Peripheral. That's how it's said. I mean, only one overcard for Danny to dodge. He.
Well, no. Oh, he dodges the overcard, but not the worst, having the worst hand, because Cremium now makes 3 10s.
This should cost Danny some money.
Wheel raises right away with the 6s.
Well.
Well, that should set off some alarm bells for Danny. When
Danny's. Oh, I thought Danny was going to fold right away, but he does not.
he's in bad shape.
Wow. Wheel. It's probably going to check through on most turns. How can Wheel bet again when both guys call? Premier's going to be really disappointed when no more money goes in this pot. Not just on turn, but probably on river.
I guess Cremio could have the nut flush draw, but on a paired
Yeah.
board, he might have just folded that anyway.
Also, Danny still called the raise anyway.
Wheel checks.
Yeah, he just has to. And
Another 4. That will make Cremio feel better about his hand, but also like he might be chopping now.
can Danny even call? Well, Danny doesn't have to worry about Wheel having a 10 very often. But yeah, see, this is the problem. Danny calling the overcalling the flop, but folding the river.
Yeah.
Doesn't really fit together. is wheel. At least wheels call here could make more sense,
Yeah,
right?
you
You could
could
be
put
clubs at least.
You could put Cremio on clubs if
you
you really
have a
want
club, but it's the 6 of clubs. You know.
to. Everybody wants to be a hero.
It's 400 to win 1.1. Gotta be right about 27% of the time here to break even.
Is there any chance Cremio could be betting a slightly better hand as kind of like a blocker-ish bet?
When he called the raise to 200 on the flop,
probably
I don't
not.
think so.
Probably not.
I think it's trip tens or it's a missed flush draw. I don't know what else it could be. It could be, I guess, deuces full.
Yep.
That's it. But it's a full house or it's a missed flush draw. Getting 3 to 1. I know we have a club in our hand. Maybe we're supposed to call. I think we might be supposed to call there.
I don't know.
It's like you said. It's possible Cremio just folds most of his flush draws on the flop. Maybe
Yeah.
not the nut flush draw, but maybe almost everything else. That makes it an easier fold.
I also had a pocket pair.
Wait. Yes, it does.
Just one thing
Wait,
I
though.
require
I had to
from
think
you
about
all
it for a
is give me
second.
that 100 back. You gotta give me a golden shower.
On video?
It's really weird that Wheel decided to raise that time because
We have to do it.
Cremio was probably going to put in the raise, and he would have been able to continue on the turn. Probably get action from Danny on the brick turn if Wheel
Maybe.
hadn't been putting in money. If Wheel folds to the raise on the flop,
Go to 4.
No, he just.
and maybe even action on the river. Danny, we know Danny likes the hero.
Did we change the deck?
That's bullshit, man.
That's a different deck, right?
Oh,
Yeah, we did.
this is the older deck.
Brand new
The
deck.
old school ones.
Is there a
Fold,
straddle?
fold.
Yeah.
Brand new
Is there a
compared to
straddle?
what we were using earlier.
That's a straddle, right?
That's a start.
It is a
There's
straddle.
another pocket pair for Wheel.
On the button.
This would be good on that flop that we had last time.
It's like Wheel grows pocket pairs in his garden.
Nice.
Thanks.
Mike has to. He's called by the price of $25. He will not lock
Yeah.
it up for this hand.
In position 25. You're really just forced to call, and don't have to put any more money in.
That's good because Wheel has the nuts.
Yeah. Hey, you got the back door straight. If you're Mike. There's the check.
So if this is VIP lounge, who's allowed?
Will the little slow play work?
Yep.
It will.
That's it.
There's $75 that Mike will almost certainly not be seeing again.
Should have locked it up, Mike.
What are you doing playing King 3 off, Mike?
So fun. Ryan, can we do a heads up tournament, please?
Wheel really overacting here.
Yep. I mean, you could probably just take that clip and put it over a lot of hands that Wheel's played over the course of poker time.
There's the call. Oh, man, a queen or a jack starts to get interesting, but no.
I imagine Mike is mostly going to be done with this. Yep. A
And
3 is probably not going to embolden him too much. Clubs did come in.
let's see how Wheel sizes. I'm expecting bigness. Oh, is that only 100?
I'm expecting bigness.
Yes, that's what I said. It's actually pretty cheap. You can beat the straight draws that decided to check call, if there are any.
Yep.
There aren't too many of those probably, though. King in our hand blocks a few of them.
Mike makes the call.
Mike says, lock this up, buddy. Here's money. Here's some of my money.
Ryan, remember we were talking about doing that hyper heads up tournament?
Well, Wheel did maximize that value by
Yeah.
slow playing it, I have
For
to
sure.
say.
For sure.
Shows any aggressive action before the river, the hand's just over. Mike, chastened, drink some Red Bull.
I think he's a monster guy, actually.
Oh, yeah. Gotta get that heart rate going again.
Yeah.
Like, how did you get so many chips?
Yep. See, that's the look of regret in his eyes. Oh, there's the head shake.
Yeah.
Oh, what am I doing? Just lock it up.
Finally.
No, heads up is a lot of button straddle.
I've had a bunch of pairs.
Same.
Mike, whatever you do, you're going to get critiqued. Just know that.
That's the way of poker time.
Yes. We're always coming after you.
So come play on poker time.
It's a 80.
But it's a happy critique, a friendly critique.
Yes.
Is Bombpots
Cremio is going to defend
That was a pretty high flash there, buddy.
with
but-
2 cards. It's
8
the
and a
8-3 of
3.
clubs.
You could fold that.
not operational?
Nobody over here. You already pulled it.
It's suited, man. Leave him alone.
I rely
It's going
on
to flop top pair.
All right.
And Danny's open-ended.
80.
4.
Cremio says, nuh-uh-uh.
Cool.
Not so fast, Daniel.
He hates it when you call him that.
He does.
He might. I don't know.
This is a card we might have continued as Danny, but choose not to. Oh, he's out of position. It's a little tougher, but still. Will Danny take a shot?
He really could.
He really could.
Nope.
Chooses not to.
No reason to bet is Cremio, but he's gonna do it
He's
anyway.
going to try and get heroed by like a 7 or a deuce or something because he thinks like hearts missed.
I guess.
Not insane. Danny's the kind of guy who can call with a 7 for sure. I think would call probably pretty quickly, right?
I've never.
I don't know. Aces and jacks.
I never
Danny thought about making a bluff, but he let it
Yeah.
go.
I've always wanted to do.
That's gonna do it for this episode.
All right. See you next week.
Bye.